what made me say good word? Man, listen. I was telling Veronica, she about to come up. I was like, girl, I don't even need to say nothing because all of these ladies are saying what God has given them to say, and that's why I love that so much. I met Veronica, and she always tell the story. She can tell it. She tell it better than I do. But when I met Veronica and I connected with her, she has just definitely been one of those beautiful souls, always the same, never changed. Me and Veronica saw each other for the first time like a couple weeks ago. I was overwhelmed that she was so happy to see me. It just made me be like, wow, you just never know who God will put in your life to really have your best interests at heart, to really be praying that the will of God is done in your life, really be praying, really be encouraging you with words, and just really encourage you that, you know what, it's going to be good and it's going to be okay. And like, she is forever one of those people. She has a sweet baby girl that is like the same way. And I'm excited. I don't know what she going to talk about, but Veronica, be at liberty to talk about whatever the Lord gives to you in your mouth. Open your mouth and fill it wide. But I remember we had a summit maybe 2-3 years ago, Veronica. You probably remember this. It was called the Bounce Back After the Setback. And her message was, what's in your duffel bag? Now Tamika talked about what's in your bottle. She talked about what's in your duffel bag. I don't know what she's gonna share tonight. And for those who ever come on my platform, I may give like the theme or something. Um, hey, thank you for the word. I miss you. You miss Miss Cynthia. We got to get together. We got to have an unhealed mass come back. But Veronica shared what's in your duffel bag. I never forget that message. And whenever we have a platform, anybody's been on, I may give you the theme and say, hey, I want you to come share your story. So I never tell anybody what to say. And so all of this is synchronized tonight. And I know that what Veronica is going to say is just going to add to what we have already experienced. And so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for staying. Some of you may have come for somebody else, but thank you so much for staying tonight. And so I am going to read a bit of Veronica's bio. I always say, if you want a better life, better days, get with the Better Days coach, Miss Veronica Burnett. But Veronica Burnett is a certified life coach. She's an author and an advocate for healthy relationships. So if you do got them side chicks and, you know, Big Daddy and Little Daddy and, you know, all them other people, just out of Veronica, okay? Follow her on Instagram and Facebook so you can get in healthy relationship. If you now this is serious. Now I laugh, but this is serious. If you dating a man that ain't your husband, if you dating a man that's somebody else's husband, if you're dating somebody who is somebody else's wife, legit, you need a healthy relationship because that ain't pleasing to God. Now, Veronica is an advocate for healthy relationships, women survivors of domestic abuse, and she coaches those who are ready for a fresh start. If you're somebody who has been in a domestic situation, reach out to her. She can get you some better days. If you're afraid and you don't know how to leave, this is somebody you can go in inbox and say, please, can you kind of help me with my journey? One of the things that I said I would do is that we said we would give out um, some free things for those who signed up. And so one of the things that Veronica is giving away is a free 30-minute session. So say if you somebody who is in an abusive relationship, or maybe your child is in an abusive relationship and you keep telling them, you know, they need to get out or come through or whatever, you might be the person that could receive this. And say if you receive it and you want to gift it to somebody else, please do that. She's giving away 2 of her books. I'm giving away a free session. I'm giving away an opportunity to be on Speak Life with me. But this is a person right here for real. If you want better days, I want you to contact Veronica. So she is the author of the Better Days Vision Journal and co-author of Unmute Yourself, Speaking Our Truth Unapologetically, and the I Am She, the Collective, which was fire, okay, all by itself. Veronica empowers those who work with her to build healthy relationships from the inside out. Miss Makeup talk about it ain't just makeup for your face, but for your internal self. Veronica wants you to have a healthy relationship from the inside out, and that will attract the right relationship that you are looking for. She encourages others to live their best lives starting today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when let me just get, I'm saying, get together, not let us just do it one more time. Because you know how people say, well, let's just do it one last time. And I'm just keeping it all the way real with y'all. That last time, people try to put it on you so you won't leave. Don't do it one more time. Your day gonna be today. You're gonna have a better day today. Veronica, I am so happy to see you.
Hey.
Hey. Listen.
Oh my gosh.
Listen.
Oh my gosh.
You open your mouth and let God fill it. Okay? Whatever it is He is telling you to say it. You
Yes.
got the floor. Drop the mic, pick it up, drop it again, pick it up, drop it down about 15 more times, okay? I'm gonna slide out the way. Thank
Oh
you.
my
I
gosh.
love you. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for being a part of this. And I'm gonna slide out the way. So welcome to the Ignite Virtual Summit. And this is your Better Days coach, Miss Veronica Burnett.
Oh wow. Simone, you make me sound so much better than I thought, right? First of all, I hope you all excuse me. My daughter has some kind of throat viral infection, and I think she has passed it on to her mommy. But bear with me because I'm really going to share what was given to me. A little bit more about me. Yes, I have a little girl. Well, not a little girl. She does not like that. She's 10 years old, and she is my best gift ever. Okay. The best gift ever. After Jesus, salvation, God, my daughter's my best gift and love her so much. You'll hear me talk a lot about her somewhere else, but not today. All right. So I'm going to get right to it. First, let me tell you, in my heart, I'm a teacher. So I have my notes, and you're going to see me look at my notes because I want to stay on track. I know myself, right? Let me ask you, what would you do if you only had 15 minutes to make a life changing decision? What would you do? When Simone sent out the invitation to be a part of today's summit, she told us, you have 15 minutes. And I thought to myself, Lord, how can I talk and share in 15 minutes? I can talk for an hour by myself. Easy, right? And I said, okay, God, what do I share? What do I share? He simply said, share your story. So that's what I'm going to do today. But this is a different story. So if you've heard me talk about my life journey and how Better Days came to fruition, you got to go back and watch the other videos because today, this is a new story and it has changed my life dramatically. So each year around December, God gives me a word for the following year. And in the past, it's been consistency, focus, and these are not in any type of order. These are the words that he's given me. Consistency, focus, clarity, immeasurable, be intentional. And this year, it was take authority. Well, for this year, it was take authority. And when we got to take authority, I was like, what are you talking about? Take authority. Now, with each of these words, he's given me a scripture to read, giving me different scriptures to read and study and apply to my life. And so this year, take authority. I couldn't figure it out. Where did I need to take authority? And one day he said, daughter, I need you to take authority for your life, in your life, in what I've given you to do. Take authority. So if you don't have a word or a theme for yourself, you are welcome to use one of my words. They don't belong to me anyway, but you are welcome to use them. All right. So let me tell you where I was in January. I was ecstatic about the new year. I was excited about where my life was going. And then around the 3rd, 4th, or 5th of the month, January, I felt like I was arrested by God. And he swept me up in this whirlwind. I was trying to figure out which way I was going, why this was happening. I was not understanding. And so what he did was he took me on a journey. This journey was a self-discovery journey. It was like all these years I was living in a smoke screen. All these years I was living in the shadows behind other people, being the support person for everybody else. And he said, nope, it's time for you to come up front. What? Yes, you're the head and not the tail. Okay. This journey that he took me on, he reminded me of the visions, the ideas, and the purpose he put in my life. And I was like, God, I already know this. You showed me some of it when I was 14 years old. I'm 40 something now. And he said, the reason why some of it has not materialized is because you lack faith. Whew. The reason why some things haven't happened is because we lack faith, real faith. See, I was looking for other people to validate me and give me permission to do the things that God already told me, the things that he already planned out for my life. I'm looking for them to give me the crib notes and the cheat sheets for their lives, for their businesses, for their financial state, for their relationships. For their lives is not my life. And my life ain't their life. Yes, I said ain't. I wanted somebody else to go along with me so they could validate me and say, oh, yeah, good job. Oh, yeah, you're doing it right. Turn left, turn right. When all I really needed to do was follow Christ, was follow the directions and the instructions that God was giving me. Why wasn't I doing it? I still can't tell you. I can tell you this, though. I wanted so much in my life. I saw myself in all of these grand places, but I was too afraid to do the work that needed to be done to get there because I knew that it was going to cost me something. It was going to cost me some friends. It was going to cost some relationships. It may even cost a job, cost money. It cost me losing myself in a good way. And then it was going to challenge me to level up. I needed to level up to be the version of Veronica that he needed me to be, to walk in and operate in the position that's already created for me, the position that he has assigned for me. So I had to do some self-work. And let me tell you something, when God takes you on a journey to do self-work, be prepared to do a lot of crying. Be prepared to do a lot of acknowledging that you're not what you thought you were. Be prepared to acknowledge the fact that you are living below what God has designed for you to live. Be prepared to repent a whole lot because it took a lot of that. Repenting because I didn't see myself the way God saw me. I didn't value myself the way I should have. Then he says, now that we've taken care of all of that, you've done the repentance, you've acknowledged this, that, and the other. Now it's time to build your faith. Now that faith walk, it's like a free fall. You know how you do those faith falls and you're hoping somebody catches you? Well, I didn't have a human to catch me. All I had was God. That faith fall was scary. But I knew that I needed something different. I had to do something different, and I had to trust because truthfully, I was tired of doing things the same way I had been doing them. I was tired of being tired of hearing myself say, I don't like this. I want this. I'm gonna do this. Time out for I'm gonna. How about we do something now? The one thing he told me, in addition to not having enough faith, I wasn't even asking big enough. I knew what he told me. I've seen it. I have the blueprint. I literally have a drawing of an idea that God has given me. So much so that I've talked to my daughter, who's 10, loves architecture and engineering, drew out everything for me. But I still didn't ask big enough. Still didn't walk into it because why? I lacked faith and I was afraid. So I looked back over my life knowing all of these things. And I looked at my prayer life and realized that I was praying half-hearted prayers. How many know about those half-hearted prayers? I was praying, but I didn't really believe that what I was praying for was available to me. Because I had been disappointed in the past and things didn't go the way I thought they would go, I didn't really believe that it would really happen. Let's just pray because it's routine. But it didn't resonate. And I wasn't really fully going and being transparent, saying, God, I'm scared, but I want to trust you. I didn't think it was available. But guess what? All the things I saw happening in someone else's life, that's their life. And even though some of the things was happening that I wanted for me, they were starting just not the way I thought it would and not the way he gave it to someone else. Another reason that things didn't materialize was because of my limited beliefs. They kept me from seeing my full potential. Do you know your full potential? Maybe I did, and maybe you do, but it scares you because it's grand. I mean, if I could tell you what he has shown me, it would scare you. But that's when you know it's from God. If your plan is not big enough to scare you, it ain't big enough. It's not big enough. So let me tell you what helped me. And you are free to borrow any of it, some of it, all of it. But what I encourage you to do is listen and find your way by seeking God. The first thing I had to do, and I'm going to tell you, take your eyes off of other people. When you have your eyes on other people, it breeds jealousy and envy and sometimes resentment. And I'll tell you that I know this firsthand because I felt it. For years, I felt it with people that I prayed for. I prayed for them, prayed for things to happen for them. And when it did, I'm sitting here like, well, what's happening with me, God? I prayed for myself, my half-hearted prayer, because I didn't believe it. Remember, I prayed for them. They believed what they were praying for, and things were happening. And I got resentful. And God said to me, baby, you don't have to be jealous of them because any way I bless them, I can bless you too. Because my blessings don't run out. Let me tell you, that freed me. I did have to repent because jealousy is not of God. Envy is not of God. Resentment is not of God. So yes, I repented. I asked God to forgive me and I asked him to show me, how do I pray for myself? Help me to take my eyes off of other people, put some blinders on me. So I'm not looking to the left or to the right because again, their life ain't my life. And what's happening over there ain't my business. Next, I want you to permit yourself to actively operate in the gift and purpose that God has given you. If you don't know what it is, seek him. Sometimes you just need to think about what you're passionate about, what you can do in your sleep, what you can do and not get paid for it. Sometimes you have to go back to the last thing God told you. Simone shared that with me and it set me free, okay? It helped me so much. Go back to the last thing God told you. For me, it was go back to the very beginning. When I know that I'm getting off track, I go back to that day I was driving in my car on my way to work in 2016. And I asked God, what do you want me to do? And he said, share your story. I've been doing that since 2017. I want you to go back to that place, and I want you to remember the zeal and the excitement that you felt. And then I want you to harness it to encourage yourself and use it to live big. That's how you give yourself permission to live big. All right. Now, if you have your notebook or a piece of paper, a pencil, I'm going to give you some scriptures here, and you really need to write these down because they're going to help you with your journey. Number 3, stop being timid. I'm going to say it again. Stop being timid. Stop being scared. Stop being scared. Remember, you have power and authority. Write the word "and" in big, bold letters. Power and authority. 2 Timothy 1:7. I'm going to read these, so I will be looking down because I don't want to get this wrong. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. You have power. Don't be scared. Mark 11:23 and 24. I tell you the truth. You can say to this mountain, may you be lifted up and thrown into the sea, and it will happen. But you must really believe it will happen and have no doubt in your heart. I tell you, you can pray for anything, and if you believe, you will receive it. It will be yours. You have authority, there's that word, to speak to a mountain and it shall move. Psalm 91:13. Y'all, this is good news, right? Psalm 91:13. You will trample upon lions and cobras. You will crush fierce lions and serpents under your feet. Y'all get ready, okay? Luke 10:19. Behold, I have given you authority to tread serpents and scorpions. There we go again. And over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. Listen, if that is not good news and encouragement for you, nothing else I say can work. Nothing else I can say can help. All right. Now let's look at this. Oh, goodness. Who and what are the mountains and enemies in our lives? I'll give you some. Fear, compounded life trauma. And I say compounded because it could be trauma from your childhood, trauma again in adulthood or adolescence, trauma in your marriage, all of it compounding until you give it over to God, until you are healed of it. Compounded life trauma. Your negative thoughts, limited belief, your self-sabotaging behaviors and patterns, negativity spoken over your life, other people's opinions, the memories that haunt you. Is anything resonating with you? The residue of a relationship that was bad or ended badly. Let me tell you, those bad relationships and the residue from it, they bleed into everything. They sprinkle negative dust all over the place. That's got to be healed. Jealousy, envy, insecurity, abandonment, daddy issues, whatever it is for you. This is crowd participation now. Whatever it is for you, I want you to write it, put it under your feet, and apply pressure. If it's not gone, keep applying pressure. If it's under your feet and it's not going anywhere, get on your knees and apply even more pressure. You have the power and authority to tread on all of these and crush them under your feet, and it will not hurt you. Somebody say, it will not hurt me. This is how you do it. And listen, I'm almost done, okay? Remember who you belong to. Write that down. Remember who you belong to. Me, I belong to God, and I see him as a good father. And the reason I have to see him that way is because it reminds me that there's nothing good that the father will keep from his children. There is nothing good that the father won't provide for his children. There is no love like the father's love. He makes provisions for you. He provides for you. He protects you. He permits you to come back to him. He pursues you when you lose your way. And as his child, he will guide you. Now, he's a good father. If you don't know who he is for you, sit with that for a minute and see where he shows up in your life the most. That's who he is for you. If you don't know today, you are welcome to use the name I call him. A good father. Not just a good father. Next, go to the Father and present your big issues and pray big, bold prayers. I have this journal that a friend of mine gave me a couple months ago. Can you see it? There we go. And in that journal, I entitled it my Big God, Big Ask Journal, ASK. Big God, Big Ask. And in that journal, I write my prayers, my big, bold prayers. The ones that I'm afraid to articulate, I'm better at it now. But I write it in there, and then I go back and I read them and I recite them to God. Because it's my big, bold prayer. It's from my heart. It's the big thing that I'm asking. When I heard that, Veronica, you're not asking big enough, I didn't know what was big enough. I didn't know what was bigger than what I was already thinking. So you know what I did? I said, God, I want your kind of big. I want your big, your definition of big for my life. That's what I want for my life. So go to him and ask him to ignite something in you that will never go out. Permit yourself to stay lit for your purpose and your life. And from this day forward, you are a flame that represents God, and everything that represents him is illuminated. It is good and it shall prosper. I want to make sure I got all of my notes in here, y'all. I'm going to leave you with this. Friends, it is time out for living in fear, for living in lack, with a scarcity mindset, as low-hanging fruit. And many of you know, if you are in a cycle of abusive relationships, relationships that keep ending, relationships that have a pattern to them, low-hanging fruit. Let's elevate our lives. It's time out for living depleted, inconsistent, accepting less than we deserve, and unfulfilled. It is time out for living a mediocre life when we were meant to live a life of abundance. Abundance in every area of our lives. So whatever it is that you're sitting on, it's time to ask God to ignite it again. It's time for you to take authority and live big. So I ask you, if you only have 15 minutes to make a choice, what would it be? I hope you make the decision to live big. I'm Veronica Burnett, and I'm living big.